Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael Studebaker, and today we're going to be talking about my 5 common mistakes just to avoid to keep your financial goals on track. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell if you want to see more content on personal finance and investing. So now let's get straight into the video. So while we may have a vague idea or two of what we want to achieve with our finances, it's easy to take a wrong turn, making accomplishing our goals even more difficult or out of reach. I'd like you guys to just look out for these financial mistakes in this 2021 by just taking these steps instead. So the first problem is setting too many goals. When it comes to goals or resolutions, less may be more. Focusing on too many things at the same time is just probably the most common mistake that we make or see, because it just leads to people getting overwhelmed by their personal finances. Focusing on paying off credit cards, student loans, retirement, saving for a house all at the same time is just too many things at once. So while those goals are important, people often struggle to make progress when they split their focus and resources. So instead, they just end up feeling overwhelmed and lose motivation as a result. So what you can do instead, assess where you're at and what's important to you. Then pick a specific goal, like saving up 1 month of living expenses or paying down a specific amount of credit card debt, and focus on making progress on that specific goal. So make sure to pick something for the short term too. The key is to focus on the next 30 to 60 days, not the next 30 to 60 years. So in treating it like a short sprint, the goal will become more tangible and you'll set yourself up for a better chance of success. So second, paying down so much debt that you don't save anything. So it might feel tempting to pay down as much of your debt as you can, but a common mistake is using all of your extra money to pay down too much on your IOUs before investing anything in your future. So while paying down debt is a good thing, the problem here is that it's important to have cash on hand when inevitable expenses happen, such as a busted laptop or a medical bill, because we're human, right? Things happen. There's always going to be something at the end of the month that is going to take away whatever extra income you have, basically. You'll need an emergency fund for expenses like those, but many of us lack emergency savings. Then also we take on more debt. So according to a 2019 creditcards.com survey, 35% of U.S. adults cited unexpected emergency expenses as the biggest reason they're carrying a month-to-month balance, which is insane. So what you can do instead is, rather than pay down as much as you can at the expense of delaying saving anything, make sure you also keep enough cash on hand to cover at least 1 month of living expenses. So to achieve this, I recommend setting up automatic transfers from your checking account into a separate savings account, or just whatever you guys want to put it in, but I recommend a savings, so every time you get paid. That way, it kind of goes on autopilot without people thinking about it and without giving the people the opportunity to spend it, So third thing is, don't forget about bills in your budget. So it's easy to forget to budget for expenses for one-time events like holiday shopping. People usually say, "Oh, it's not a bill," but it comes in every year. But wow, it's November, and you got to do Christmas shopping or whatever, and a lot of people don't budget for that. So what you can do instead is start saving for the expense now to make the outlay more manageable later. If you spend $600 a year on holiday expenses, it might be a significant amount if you wait till the end of the year. But with that number, if you do it monthly, especially now, the beginning of the year, it's only like $50 a month, which is really good. So the fourth thing is getting surprised by taxes. So tax season can cause unwanted surprises, and yet it comes every year. So a common mistake we see is that people don't have the correct withholding and are either withholding too much or too little. If you withhold too much, your paychecks are smaller, and you give up some opportunity costs of having more money with every paycheck, and potentially saving and investing that money earlier on. If you withhold too little, though, you could be hit with a surprise tax bill at the end of the year. While you may have a preference on whether you want to get a larger refund or not, it's a good idea to know what taxes you will pay or get back to avoid a depressing surprise at the end of the year. So what you can do instead is the IRS offers a calculator to help you guys understand what you'll owe in taxes or how much to expect to get back. Use the tool to understand what personal information you'll want to change through your employer, basically, to update your tax filing status, depending on if you want a larger refund, or if you want to not owe any taxes at all. If you basically want to break even, it'll tell you how many additional dollars to withhold every paycheck. Then make updates on your W-4 form, which tells your employer how much tax to withhold as needed to match what the IRS told you. So fifth thing, making emotional investment decisions. So when the market gets rocky, it's easy to feel emotional and want to bail on your investments. But this can often prove to be a mistake, a fatal one. Although 2020 was highly volatile, the S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average hovered around historic highs in December. So, like I said, markets can fall suddenly, but often rebound very quickly, and do so without advance notice. Don't try to time the market based on where you think it's going. Think long term. You've got to be in it to win it, basically. It's a good reminder to check your emotions during the highs and lows of the stock market, or cryptocurrency market for that matter. So what you can do is, before making a hasty decision in a volatile market, take a breath and reconsider the decisions or changes you're considering making. So what I always advise my friends or anything is to assess their risk tolerance and make sure that they're comfortable with the risk that they are taking based on their goals and time horizon. So often that means making no adjustments whatsoever to avoid reacting to market volatility. Other times it might mean making an adjustment for an appropriate reason, like if your goals has changed or you realize your risk tolerance is different than you originally thought. So bottom line is, with a lesson learned or two, you can set yourself up to make progress on your financial goals this year rather than repeat common mistakes, So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, please subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell if you want to see more on personal finance and investing. I hope me going over these common mistakes people make, including myself at the beginning for sure, help you guys avoid them and just learn and make better decisions with your financial future. Remember, consistency is key and hard work pays off. Thanks guys, I'm Michael, and I'll see you guys in the next video.